Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. My name is Brandon, and today I wanted to share my thoughts on the question, is now a good time to buy stocks? And this is a question that really you do tend to get year round, but especially with our markets, I guess, they're either up or they're pushing up to all-time highs. We have people like Michael Burry coming out saying we're in a big bubble. You've got concerns of quantitative easing, these major US debt levels, trade war, yield curve, you name it. There's all this stuff, and it is a very logical question for someone to be concerned or worried about, is now a good time to invest? And to go ahead and answer that question, I'll share with you here my views and the way that I go about investing, at least my philosophy on things, and hopefully it does clarify things up. At a minimum, it will share an additional viewpoint and you can feel free to agree or disagree. But I really like to view investing very similarly to being a professional athlete. And you think to someone like LeBron James, maybe here, Alexander Ovechkin, you're a hockey fan, really whatever sport you personally like, just envision whatever athlete in whatever sport, at some point in their career, they are going to face an injury, and more likely than not, a number of injuries. And they are without a doubt setbacks. You have to take some time off, you have to go and get your rehab done, but within a matter of weeks, a matter of months, in many cases, you're back on the court, you're back on the field, and you're back doing your thing. Now, imagine having an athlete that was so scared to ever face the possibility of getting injured. They just avoided making any tackles. They avoided driving the ball to the hoop. I mean, in that case, you might as well be sitting your butt down on the end of the bench. I mean, seriously, because the way that an athlete actually approaches the possibility of getting injured is they do everything they can to prepare themselves. They go beforehand, and things like getting the right amount of sleep, doing the right training regimen, the right diet, stretching, all these things they do behind the scenes, putting all this work and all this emphasis on so that they can prevent the possibility of getting injured, as well as the severity of their injuries, although inevitable, right? It will happen, but they're doing what they can to prevent it, and then they go out every day and they give it their all. Again, they've done the prudent thing there to put themselves in the best position to avoid or to minimize the risk of an injury. Now, how does that apply over to being an investor? Well, it totally applies, because as part of being a good investor, it's important to realize, the markets are pushing up to all-time highs. And some of these claims like, Michael Burry and his index funds or the yield curve, these could very well be legitimate concerns. But an investor that comes in with the right planning, the right structure, I take a look at my portfolio, for example, when I look at the overall structure, the weighting that I have in terms of my asset allocation, in terms of which assets are in safe areas, which assets are in growth areas. When I look at how well my portfolio is diversified, that's me preparing for whatever the market has to throw at us. I can look at my portfolio today and say confidently that, even if we were to enter into a recession, if the market were to correspondingly crash in the next 3 months, 6 months, in the short term, let's call it, the quality of investments that I've put the standard on to go out and invest in, I'm not worried that, a company like Walmart or Procter & Gamble or Coke, these companies aren't going anywhere. And in fact, if we do enter into a rough patch in the market, all that would really represent to me is an opportunity to go out and buy more of these stocks as the share price drops down while these businesses are still operating and really doing their thing. So I feel like I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but the question is now a good time to buy stocks? Well, very similarly to the athlete example, as an investor, I don't want to be sitting out on the sidelines. I don't want to be sitting on the bench with every piece of scary news that I hear and, what I like to call noise. I don't want to be listening to that and essentially selling out of my investments, raising my cash position. The same way that an athlete goes out and they train and they eat healthy and they get their good sleep to go out and give it their all, that's the same way that I approach investing. And again, it starts with having a well-structured portfolio, having confidence in the companies you own, being well diversified. But when you have your portfolio structured like that, I don't see any reason why not to be investing. And although you could make the argument that, hey, yeah, the market's not like crazy attractive, and yeah, maybe we're fully valued, maybe we're overvalued. When you look at the broader market, the scope of equities out there, there are without a doubt a number of stocks that I personally am seeing value in. And because I've taken the steps to essentially prepare my portfolio to handle whatever can come, I'm more than comfortable adding the right stocks to my portfolio. It's like, if I was just starting out, if you're a beginner, you have to do things the right way. If you were to just go out right now and say, listen, I'm going to go out and buy a share of Beyond Meat and call that my portfolio, that would be the equivalent of someone going out into an NFL game, never lifted weights, never doing anything, not being prepared. Dude, they're going to get crushed. You get crushed the same way as a scrawny athlete, the same way as an investor that comes in unprepared. But what I'm getting at here to wrap up the video is that if you do have a thorough understanding of how the stock market works, if you do buy into the system of understanding the ups and downs of the stock market and how it performs over time, if you have a legitimate plan and a legitimate structure to your portfolio and something that personally resides with your goals, your objectives, your risk tolerance as something that you feel you can manage, if you're out buying good quality companies, you look at your portfolio and you're seeing good companies that you see around us every day, to me, that investor is prepared. They've done the prudent things. And I see no issue with going out and buying, like I said, specific stocks. Because as I mentioned in videos, like I feel like I'm mentioning this all the time, we have no idea when the markets will take a turn for the worst. And there's always going to be someone out there, whether it be Michael Burry or whether someone's out posting on quantitative easing or whatever the case is, Ray Dalio out calling for a recession, there is always going to be something. And rather than essentially trying to time the market, getting in and out and playing that game, do what you can to prepare to be ready for it and then invest, because there could very well be, I don't even know, I wouldn't even try to put time frame on how well this market could continue doing. It could be a year, it could be a couple years, it could be a few years that the market continues pushing up. We don't know. So as investors, the best thing we can do, again, similar to an athlete, is prepare ourselves, put ourselves in the right position, in the right environment for our portfolios to thrive. But that was really my kind of indirect, my workaround answer to the question, is it a good time to buy stocks? In my opinion, I don't see why not. If you're picking the right stocks, you don't just want to be going out and going haywire and picking all sorts of stocks at their 52-week highs. I think you guys get the point for the video. If you enjoyed my thoughts on this topic, feel free to drop a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, we do videos like this every week. If you are a beginner to the stock market and you're looking to learn more, you're looking to learn things like how to structure your portfolio, how to understand the basics and how the stock market works, check out our Investing Academy. It's that first link down in the description below. We are taking on new students at the moment, and if you're hesitant, go check out some of the reviews that are coming in over on our website from beginners who are just brand new to the stock market, tackling things and getting their portfolios built. But as always, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next